Well, I was not planning to make this today, but since Shadow ended up making a Bluey Lost episode, I thought I'd just give it a reaction. So I got nothing else to say here, and I do actually have the real Bandit here with me. Yeah. Although this is just Colin's impression of it, he just thought he'd do it just because, it's a whole comfort thing that happens. Yeah. So, before we start, this is just a reaction, not anything like that out of the ordinary in terms of like a rant or something like that, although I'll give my thoughts at the end. So, yeah. I don't know, man. You got anything else to add? Nah, not really. I'm just a little worried about how this will go. Because, did you want to tell them how you actually found this video? Yeah. It's because of the fucking thumbnail, surprisingly. Because when I went to go check my YouTube library, about like 7 or 8 minutes before the video premiered, by the way, I saw the thumbnail, and I didn't know who it was until I thought it was Shadow, actually. And that's how I found out about it, and then, I just listened to, a song before I ended up, I didn't watch the premiere, I wanted to wait for it until it actually got on YouTube. So, yeah, that's about it, really. I really got nothing else to mention about, waiting patiently. I mean, what else am I gonna do? Say, I did this while waiting for the video. Yeah, no one's here for commentary, man. We're just here for a reaction. Yeah. Now, by the way, I will be pausing to give some thoughts. I'm not actually gonna be, well, okay. Not like that. Okay, sorry. If I have something important to say, I'll pause it. But if something happens, yeah, it's gonna be like that. So, I don't know. Bandit, you ready for this, dude? Yeah, I guess. I'm not really ready for what kind of gruesome imagery we're gonna get. Do you think we're gonna get maybe... I don't know, I mean, this is a Shatteria story. We haven't seen it yet. Do you think it'll have me killing my family? Bandit, why the fuck would you think that? Well, I'm just making an estimated guess here, mate. I'm not actually saying that. I mean, you do have a good point. That's probably what it's gonna be. Alright, well, let's let the video explain itself. Now, by the way, my TV volume is up to 16. If it is low, I apologize. Alright, here we go. I skipped the intro, by the way.
Most people have probably heard of Bluey by now.
Yep.
Even if you haven't, I'm sure you've seen the merchandise and characters elsewhere before.
Yep.
Whether in a store or online. I had just finished an extraordinarily hard day at work at the psychiatric institution. I decided to go to my local superstore to pursue some movies for some comfort and escapism. When I arrived,
Escapism.
I eagerly explored.
Escapism. You know the Steven Universe episode that was regarded for being shit? Yeah. I surprisingly like that episode. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought I'd bring that up, but anyway.
DVD sections. It wasn't long before I came across a DVD box case that piqued my interest. A ripped Bluey case with a single episode named Bandit Loses It.
We have a cliche on our... The first cliche, guys. You know how I fucking feel about Lost Episode cliches. They are... really just about a minute into this entire, 8-minute video. And already... I mean, man, it's just one cliche. I know. Alright, let's continue.
On the reverse. The cover of the case appeared...
Wait, what, on the reverse? Hold on.
Case that piqued my interest. A ripped Bluey case with a single episode named Bandit Loses It, listed on the reverse.
Listed on reverse? What the fuck does that mean? Do you know what listed on the reverse means, Bandit? No. I don't know either.
The cover of the case appeared to be a family photo, except for Bandit. Everyone had a sad expression on their face. And this puzzled me because
okay. I think I might know what exactly goes down. You don't think that, do you? Yes, I do. But let's wait, because we're only diving into the cover of this quote-unquote DVD that this guy's gonna get. So, let's just find out.
Family was typically upbeat and cheerful. I carefully picked up the case, placed it in my bag, and began walking towards the person at checkout, so I wouldn't feel so alone at the store. I was in the middle of the conversation with the cashier when she abruptly paused and looked at me nervously. "Are you sure you want to check this one out?" she said, twirling.
She's self-aware that this is awful. Okay. If you were to find something like that, no one would absolutely care. Really, no one would care. Yeah, that's not really how it works. That's like saying, you know that hymn about an episode, Colin? Yeah, I know. Ooh, I know what reference you're gonna bring up. Is that the one with the pizza oven? Yeah. That's like saying the guy who I'm actually gonna get the pizza oven for is like, you're not getting this because Pat has one, do you? Yeah, love that one, by the way. Yeah, same here. Alright, let's continue.
Her hair nervously. "Yeah, is there something wrong with it?" I responded nonchalantly. "No, it's just, well, the person who returned the tape said that the contents contained something that were, rated M?"
Hold on. Did she just say tape? As in VHS? Are you fucking kidding me? Wow. No, who uses VHS tapes nowadays? Exactly. I mean, oh my god. We're dragging this out. Let's just cut to the chase.
She replied. "What? What is this, a video game or something?" I laughed. "Go ahead and check it out." She checked the DVD out and I paid.
Oh, DVD, thank God.
I excitedly grabbed the case and dashed out of the automatic doors. I smiled as I got into my car and looked at the case again. I placed the case down on my lap, stuck my key into the ignition, and drove back home. When I got home, I threw my jacket on the floor and kicked off my shoes. I went into the living room and turned on the television. I then removed the DVD from its case and inserted it into the DVD player. Went to the kitchen and popped some popcorn before sitting down and pressing the play button.
Yep, we've all heard that before. Really? How have you heard that one before? Oh, I've heard this in so many Lost episodes. Like, Harold the Furnace and the Dragon Tales Lost episode had these two popcorn cliches. They did? Yeah. I should check them out. I don't know if you would, Bandit. I mean, I have. Long time ago. When I was actually into these, that is. But, anyway, let's just continue, okay? Because I don't want this video to be almost a half hour long. Yeah, I mean, how much are we in? Sorry. How much time are we in right now? I have no idea. We'll have to check when the video's done.
Remote. As I waited for the DVD player to start, I fiddled with the case in my hand. I was greeted with an interactive menu with the cover of the case in the background. There were only two options available to me: play and exit. A blue oval surrounded.
Exit? Really? What does exit do? Do you know? I don't know what it does, okay? Sorry, sheesh. Nah, I'm sorry, it's just that I knew you were gonna ask me, and, yeah, what kind of DVD has the exit mode anyway? Yeah, Shadow's gonna be answering a lot of questions if we even bother to ask him. Although, yeah, I'm just gonna tag him, but this is just him watching the reaction, not actually him saying, "Oh, you made a Bluey episode, I'll tag you so that way you can get hated." No, I'm not doing that. We're just doing a reaction, especially since this premiered not too long ago, so, anyway.
Play, and the orange oval surrounded exit. When I pressed the play button, the screen briefly went black before the Bluey intro began to play. The introduction was normal, with the family playing musical statues. The music came to a halt and they all shouted "Mom," as they did in every episode. So far, nothing's come up, I told myself. When I said that, the music stopped and everyone exclaimed, "Bingo!" This was not an ordinary episode, I realized. As I watched, I started munching on my popcorn, wondering where this was going. The music abruptly ceased, and they all exclaimed, "Bluey." The music resumed and became more intense until Bandit leaped up in the air, and they all exclaimed, "Dad." It then cut to the title card, which reads, "Bandit loses it."
If that really was your own theme, like, would you even execute it like that? Oh, I have no idea. Chili doesn't even have one, too. Yeah. Although I would think of her doing a slight bit. We don't need content like that on him. Well, I'm not even gonna say anything like rude or I'm sorry, not rude. I'm not gonna say anything sexual or anything like that. I'm not. Oh, sorry. Anyway.
It was read by a male voice that didn't sound like Bandit's voice actor. The episode began with Bandit leaving the kid's room, closing the door, and walking down the hall. The camera then pans to the healer's study. For a few seconds, nothing happens until Bandit opened the door, entering and shut it. He approached his desk and sat on the ball, and then turned his head to face the viewers. So I guess I'm your favorite character, he said cheerfully.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, ugh. I don't know where to start with. Just making an iconic statement about him. Yeah, it's okay, honestly. Yeah. I think you were gonna say that I'm like the most iconic dad in pretty much this entire series and probably of all time. Okay, I wouldn't say of all time, but wait a minute, why are we even talking about this? We don't have time to talk about this. I gotta get to work in around an hour. I don't have time for this, Bandit. Okay, sorry. Why are you laughing anyway? I have no idea. Alright, moving on.
I'm sure you've always wanted an episode centered on me, and now you have one. He then stood up and ran towards the viewer, and then cuts to a supermarket. He stuffed a cabbage into a silver tote bag. He then looked at the viewer and ran towards them before the scene could cut to the living room. Aside from the floating rocks, the living room appeared normal. Bandit entered the room holding the cabbage. He knelt and placed the cabbage in the center of the floor. He clasped his hands together and began to pray in a language I didn't understand. As the cabbage began to tremble, the rocks began to glow a bright deep red. The cabbage then ruptured, releasing a shadow that...
What? Are you doing some sort of satanic ritual? As I know. Fair point.
ran into the viewer before cutting to a microsecond image of a man in a forest. The scene cut back to the living room and everything was normal except for Bandit. At this point, I was questioning what the heck was going on. Why does Bandit keep running towards the viewer? Why did Bandit perform such a strange ritual? What was that shadow? Why is Bandit the only character in the episode so far? I went to the kitchen, got a glass of water, and gulped it down. Then I headed back to the living room and sat back down again. Bandit appeared to be holding a large knife covered in a black, mysterious liquid. His right arm was covered in scratch marks. I wondered if the shadow entity had done this to him. I pressed play and kept watching. Bandit got up and slowly walked towards the viewer until it was covered by his face. The screen turned black for a second and cut back to a drawing of his face that was more detailed. And this was a rare occurrence in the show, usually occurring for short periods of time to accommodate a joke or a close-up of something. During these occurrences, the characters' faces would either have a curious expression or puppy dog eyes. Bandit's expression was neither. Bandit wore a serious expression on his face. This is what I have to do to keep this family alive. The food here has been contaminated by interdimensional beings, he yelled angrily, hurling the knife to the ground. I'm finished with this snip. I'm finished! He screamed, and then cuts to black, followed by a wide back shot of Bandit on his knees outside of a grocery store entrance. The only light in the environment came from the grocery store's lights. There were several beet red glowing rocks humming around the store. Bandit clasped his hands together and began to pray in a language I didn't understand after a few seconds. The store then burst open and several shadowy entities began fleeing. As he ran towards the viewer, Bandit pulled out an automatic assault rifle and began firing into the crowd. Then cuts to a front view of Bandit driving a car and occasionally shooting out the window. The scene kept going for a solid 20 seconds. I kept staring, completely absorbed by the story unfolding on the screen, and then cuts to Bandit in the healer's study, who smiles briefly before cutting to a man holding a cabbage in the woods. The man grabbed the cabbage and began eating it raw. From his chest popped out a skeleton. It then cuts to the end credits. When I saw the skeleton, I puked, peed my pants, and fell to the ground. It was so frightening that I passed out and I awoke an hour later. I washed my hands and changed my clothes. I carefully removed the disc and replaced it in the case. I dashed out of the house, slamming the door shut because of my shaking hands. I had difficulty inserting the key into the ignition, but I succeeded. I then drove to the store and dashed inside, clutching the case. I slammed it on the cashier's table. I dashed up to the cabbages and began ripping them apart with my hands, terrified. When I finished, I collapsed to my knees and sobbed. And when I wiped away my tears and looked up, I noticed the skeleton had popped out.
What the fuck was that? Sorry for the loss of voice, but what the fuck was that? Jesus Christ, dude. Like, what the fuck was that? I'm not terrified or anything. I'm just rather concerned. I think I'm gonna stay away from the Shadow Reader for a long time because of this. Now, keep in mind, guys, I would never do something like this, okay? I don't know what kind of ritual was that. Besides, nothing, except maybe the stuff that you face off against Colin, nothing strange like that ever happened in Brisbane. I swear to God on my life, I know for a full fact that none of this stuff has ever happened. I'm speechless. Really, I am. I am too, dude. But, okay. Let's come back to earlier. Why were you in the story, or, I'm sorry, why was Story Bandit, as I'm gonna say, holding that knife? Tell me he didn't kill someone. I hope not. I hope not. I fucking... to God, hope not. You didn't have to whisper it. I don't even think your audience heard that. I said I hope to fucking God not, or... whatever. So, that story just... it wasted my time. But not in a bad way. And nowhere close to a good way either. It just wasted my time to give me a reaction. I'm sorry whoever wrote this story, by the way, it wasn't Shadow, it was someone else. Whoever wrote the story, I hope you're proud of yourself. Because this story is pretty damn bad. It's awful. What the hell was that? I don't know. Alright. I gotta cut this reaction here. Do you have anything else to say, Bandit? Nah, not really. I'm done here. Yeah. Alright, if you like this, then, I'll see you later, I guess. So, anyway, bye for now. Bye.